All right, you guys remember Kristi Noem, right? The Republican governor and Trump acolyte so thirsty for MAGA approval that she literally sacrificed lives in her state by presenting COVID-19 as a Democratic plot to ruin the white man's nation. True story. So after declaring South Dakota open for business at the height of the pandemic and defiantly making masks optional, the state's death rate reached a global high. So what's this Aunt Lydia of governors up to now? Well, she's turning the National Guard into mercenaries. This week, she announced that she would deploy up to 50 of the state's Guard members to Texas, where they will help secure the border between the United States and Mexico against what exactly? Yes, desperate mothers and children and families seeking asylum. But unlike other Republican governors who have done this exact same thing, Noem found Willis Johnson, a Tennessee billionaire, to pay for it. So let's set aside the ethical questions of, is this money laundering? Because it sure sounds like it. Or is this legal? It shouldn't be. Or what happens when billionaires start funding the National Guard to stop things like voting rights marches or Black Lives Matter protests? The question I have for this Phyllis Schlafly reject is the same one by Harold Frazier, chairman of the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe, when he asked for the state's assistance back in April of 2020 when COVID was running rampant through the state to help establish medical facilities. Why did the governor not deploy soldiers at his request, but is willing to send the Guard to do the work of private donors over 1,000 miles away? When the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe worked to protect their borders, the feckless fumbler threatened them with lawsuits and complained about their strict border control to the federal government. Fun fact, South Dakota, just like the rest of the country, the Native Americans were the state's first inhabitants. Mount Rushmore is carved into a sacred site that represents the ancestors of the indigenous. The Black Hills, where the monument was built, also belongs to the indigenous under a treaty with the United States that tribal leaders say has been violated by the U.S. for more than 100 years. So imagine if Native Americans had better border patrol centuries ago, or if the Gold Coast of Ghana had border patrol centuries ago. The Atlantic's Adam Serwer, who was on the show earlier, makes the point that this type of dominance to succeed, the playbook is to paint people as a threat and be convinced they want to destroy you. I agree. The colonizers' descendants are terrified that the rising majority of this country will gain equal power and treat them the same way their ancestors treated us. But be ye not fearful, fools. I'll borrow a line from Jay-Z and say, I've got nephews to look after. I'm not looking at you. I'm looking past you. Equality should be an easier pill to swallow than revenge. But Noem's highly disrespectful and stupid border move with Jeffro there is also about something else. What Kristi lacks in intelligence, she more than makes up for in ambition. This is a stunt that's more about securing a photo op than the border. So she's essentially thirst trapping on the gram, hoping Fox will like her flex for a possible presidential run in 2024. The anti-marijuana Republican once said she never met someone who got smarter from smoking pot. I mean, maybe. But damn, she sure proves one can definitely get dumber and get more cruel from gulping down that MAGA milk.